I just wanted to correct people out because they keep saying that one of the pals in this game looked exactly like a Gyarados. But if you see what I'm about to show you, you'll see. Hold on. So I have two versions of this dragoon like pal. I hate it when people put Pokemon in my mind. It's ugh. I don't even want to think about it. People always try to make it look like a Pokemon. But to be honest, it's nothing like a Pokemon because you go here, this is exactly like a Dragoon. Where did Pokemon take its inspiration with Gyarados? Well, something that they don't really own. And here's why, okay? I'll show you guys why. This guy here, okay? Germantide Ignis, okay? This is nothing like a Gyarados. You see the art style? It is nothing like a Gyarados. It has some fish-like antennas, but that don't mean it's like a Gyarados. Look at its face closely. I don't see no Gyarados here. See, there's no look of a Gyarados in the face. If it was a Gyarados lookalike, it would have fins in its face. It don't have fins in its face. I just wanted to state that up and make it clear this is nothing like a Gyarados. Because if its face cheeks are more flatter than the Gyarados, it is nothing. See, and look, the rest of the art style, like the body of the stomach and stuff, it looks somewhat like a Gyarados, but that's because Gyarados also takes its inspiration from a mythology. Okay, what is a dragoon? A mythology, right? He's just a myth. It's like it's one of the beasts that is mythical. It's not real. And Pokemon takes inspiration with the Gyarados, with the body. Okay, this one looks completely like a dragoon. Okay, look at its face. Look at the top of its head. Yeah, some of that may look like something Gyarados would have on the top of the head. But it's nothing like a Gyarados because if you search up a picture of a dragoon, it's kind of like this. Okay, it's kind of like this pal right here. So when I look at Pokemon, I see a dragoon, but it's tweaked up. It's tweaked up. This guy, these developers here with Power World, they make it look so identical to a dragoon. Okay, so if people are so stupid enough to rain toxicity upon Power World, and I'm glad that Power World is fighting back. Okay, I stopped supporting Nintendo because they're saying, "Oh, we have claims for this anime art style." Dude, Nintendo, you took inspiration. Don't lie. Are you sure you want to say that? Because you're lying. I don't think that's a good idea. You're going to mislead so many people that support your system and your game. See, I stopped supporting Nintendo, which means I stopped purchasing games like Pokemon. I love it. I love Pokemon, but it's just so much things that Nintendo is trying to do that is wrong. Just because someone in their community say, "Oh, take this company down. They're ripping off your game." Uh, I'm sorry to say that, fellas, but Pokemon takes a lot of inspiration with some of its Pokemon from Greek mythology to something that they don't own the rights to, like the throwing mechanics. They took inspiration from that too. How many people would be so stupid in order to say, "Oh, this is technically a Pokemon"? Okay, let's see. Let's see if you're right. Well, the mechanics, they don't really own the rights to it because they take inspiration. Look at this, look at this. See, it is more like a Dragoon than a Gyarados, okay? If you take a picture from the internet and look at Dragoon, okay, you'll see what a Dragoon actually looks like. You're not seeing the bigger picture though. You're just saying, "Oh, he's looked like a Pokemon." To be honest, Pokemon never owned the rights to something that they took inspiration from. Not even Pokemon Company, because Pokemon Company, they take a lot of somewhat inspiration as well. And you have the guts to try and put toxicity to our game that does a lot better than Pokemon because they have a lot more content than Pokemon. And I stopped supporting Pokemon because if I stream Pokemon or if I stream this game in general, And like I'm doing now, talking smack about Nintendo, but not because I want to. It's because they're just abusing their rights to a mechanic, okay? And if you think, where does the Pokeball art style take inspiration from? Well, I made a few streams just to explain this. A gachapon. Because I looked this up a lot faster before any other person on the internet, okay? I did actually look this up on my phone compared to the lawsuit, okay? Lawsuits that are happening is because Nintendo is just panicking. They're terrified. They know they are losing money and they know they're going to be forced to increase price of their system even further. And that's going to be a problem. If they're forced to like increase the price, nobody's going to pay for that. Not enough anyways. Not enough people are going to pay for that here. They'll pay for it in Japan, sure. But like here in the US, it's different, okay? So stop raining toxicity towards a game you don't even know. And you didn't even know Pokemon either. If people knew Pokemon, they would know that the Gyarados takes inspiration from a dragoon. If you didn't know, I'll search it right now, okay? What does Gyarados take inspiration from? A dragoon? And I guarantee it'll be yes, guys. It will be yes. Does Gyarados take inspiration from Greek mythology like the dragoon? Hold on. It didn't search the right way. For some reason, it put a website to download games. Is Dragoon compared? Hold on. Does Gyarados take inspiration from a Dragoon? Let's see. They'll say yes. Oh, okay. Now you're trying to change. Okay. All right. It takes inspiration from a Chinese legend of the Dragon Gates. Okay, then let's search this. I guarantee you, the pal here we got. Does one of the pals from Pal World take inspiration from Dragoon? Let's see. Oh, people don't want to say it. They're trying to kick the information out. Yes, numerous pals in Pal direct inspiration. Not Dragon, Dragoon. Oh, sorry, hold on, guys. Dragoon. Based on common play. No, this one here. Hold on, guys. Let's see. How do I search it the right way? Does oh, I put don't. Oh boy. Does let's see. Uh, your German type from not from. Okay, this is annoying. Uh, hold on. Ignis. Ignis. inspiration from uh watch guys, you're gonna laugh. Ha ha ha. And it's gonna be the mean one. It's gonna be me who laughs back. Dragoon. It, it's design. Design. Let's see. Watch this, guys. Based on its design and lore, Empowered German Tide Ignis appears to take inspiration from a behind mythology of a blend of mythological creatures rather than specifically from a dragoon. So it does take inspiration from a dragoon, but it also takes inspiration from other mythologies. So, to be honest, I'm correct. Okay, guys? Hmm. Okay. Some. Hold on, let me put this on the. Some inspiration from a dragoon. Let's see. They don't want to say this, man. I think Nintendo is definitely trying to hide some information. It's stupid. Yes. Okay. Yes. Germantine Ignis in Powell appears to draw inspiration from a dragoon or a dragon knight. Okay. Like I said, it takes inspiration from a mythological beast from dragoon. Some of its inspiration takes from dragoon. Okay. Now, does Gyarados take inspiration from a dragoon? Probably. Did Palworld do something that Pokemon didn't really get the chance to do, and then they put a lawsuit against the art style of German Tide Ignis? But it's not. Oh crap! Hold on, it froze. See, this is why I'm forced to like close one side of the website and reopen it. Does Pokemon try to make a Gyarados look inspired from a Dragoon? Gyarados is not directly inspired by a dragoon. So that means they're completely different. Look at the face, guys. Look at the face, okay? Look at the face. You tell me this looks like a dragoon or a Gyarados, okay? Look at this, look at this. Boom, okay? Look at its face. Look at its face. That looks nothing like a Gyarados. The body looks nothing like a Gyarados because what Gyarados actually takes inspiration is from a Chinese dragon. This takes some of its inspiration from a mythological beast known as the dragoon. Yeah, Gyarados don't do that. This does not look like a Gyarados at all. Maybe the body shape, but not the face. Like, and the colors are different. Wow, will you look at that? So this is a Gyarados? Wait a minute, where's the sides that he usually has? Like this should be the face. Where's the face that looks just like the Gyarados? I don't see anything. Is there anything I should be knowing? Uh-uh. See, this is why I took my chance and just decided to skip Pokemon and supporting Nintendo. If I play anything on my Nintendo, I'm not really gonna make content off of it if it's a Pokemon game or any Nintendo game. Yeah, I have Animal Crossing 2 digital, but I ain't gonna stream it. It's gonna be backup for when I need something to like relax or something. But this looks nothing like a Gyarados, okay? The only thing is in the bottom of its stomach, okay? That's it. Other than that, the top is a whole different color, okay? That's something people have to know, okay? This is exactly a different color right here. See? Just what I'm trying to say. And I had a profile where I have a saved world where I had this guy. And I never got the chance to show it. Because what if people decide to get pissed off? Because you don't support Nintendo. Why are you supporting this game? Support Nintendo. Dude, I'm way over Nintendo. I'll play their games off stream, but I won't stream it. And I'll play whatever I have, not buy anything else. See, this is what I was trying to tell you guys. This is nothing like a Gyarados, because Gyarados is supposed to take inspiration from a Chinese dragon. This guy takes inspiration from Greek mythology or mythology in general with this guy right here. With this guy, he looks just like a dragoon, not a Gyarados. This is nothing like a Gyarados. Okay, if it was like a Gyarados, it would have full-on design spraying that direction on its face or that direction on its face over here. Okay, right there, it would have a longer around the head going down. Okay, this looks nothing like a Gyarados, and the face is a little more flatter than a Gyarados. Okay, that's what you need to know as well. So don't be putting stuff towards Power World because you guys say this looks just like a Gyarados. No, and I've been saying that since day one that this looks nothing like a Gyarados. Since I was trying to stream this that one night, and I was like, oh, I'll prove a point when I show you that this PAL takes a little more inspiration from a Dragoon than a Gyarados, okay? This takes more inspiration from a Dragoon than a Gyarados. See, the body design takes somewhat inspiration from Pokemon with Gyarados, but the top is a different color, okay? You got different colors of this little guy here, this big guy right here, okay? Nothing like a Gyarados. Nothing. And I just wanted to prove my point. That's all I wanted to do. So people can see that Nintendo is trying to do stuff and false claim that they own the design for this guy here. Well, if they own the design, why is the face changed, huh? The face is a bit changed. And this looks more like a dragon than a Pokemon. Pokemon has Gyarados that takes inspiration from a Chinese dragon, but look, it doesn't really look nothing like an actual Chinese dragon. And this, a Dragoon, it is a Dragoon-inspired PAL, alongside the body shape of a Gyarados in the bottom and around. Okay, the shape of the body is similar, but it's nothing alike, not even close. It's only a smidge, tiny bitty, itty bitty, witty, art style inspiration. But this is completely different, okay? This PAL is completely different. It looks nothing like a Dragoon. And Gyarados looks nothing like a Chinese dragon. Not like this right here. This right here looks like a Chinese dragon combined with a Dragoon, okay? This is two things in one, taking inspiration from two things in mythology and one small detail from Pokemon, which is this side right here going up. But that around is completely different. If you want, I could send a picture of a Dragoon and then send a picture of a Gyarados. And then tell me if the face actually looks like this one, because I could send another picture of this on on my social media page. Because there's so many people that are not aware of this. And so a lot of things that these pals mostly take inspiration, it looks more real than a Gyarados. Just follow me, okay, guys? Just follow me. What you're seeing is illusion, okay? You're thinking Gyarados is what this is, okay? This is more realistic than a Gyarados would be. against a Chinese dragon. See, look at that tail. Okay, yeah, that tail looks inspired from a Gyarados tail, but look, it's a lot more different shape than a Gyarados. Okay, if you see a Gyarados, it usually have fins all around its tail covering, with little lines. Okay, little lines all over its tail right here, the fin. What does a Gyarados have? It has nothing like that in its tail. It's just some of the designs take somewhat inspiration from a Gyarados, but a lot of it is more like a dragoon, okay? Because if you look at the face, it looks more like a dragoon than a Gyarados, okay? And whenever I get the chance, I'll probably try to stream something to show people that Gyarados is nothing like this. And if people say, no, it ain't, it is a Gyarados. No, it ain't a Gyarados, okay? What this is true inspiration, not just from a Chinese dragon, but a dragoon itself as well. Gyarados does not look at all like a dragoon with the flat, somewhat face, you know? The face for this pal is a lot more flatter and more, you know, smaller shape than the Gyarados face. Okay, look, look at this. Look at this. You tell me that that face, if it's like not covering much, you think that takes inspiration completely from a Gyarados? Hell no. The face is a lot more different. The body is similar, and the tail looks similar, but not even close to the same. It's tiny bit, but not completely. Okay, you look at this. Okay, and when I get the chance, I'll probably record an image showing you guys a dragoon, okay? You want to know what a dragoon looks like, search it up. And you'll know if you don't want to search it up, if you want to be lazy and just complain about the art style saying, oh, they ripped off Pokemon. Hell no. Like, they didn't, like, Pokemon ripped off because Pokemon is ripping off history, trying to make it look like their Pokemon looks exactly like this and this pal looks exactly like that. That's false claims. See, the only part of it that looks similar to a Gyarados is the bottom part going straight down and straight up, except for the head. The head looks more different than it would with the Gyarados would look. Okay? That is why. And Dragoons have multiple elements. You could have a Dragoon, a real life Dragoon. If it was real, it would have different elements. So, Dragoon, think about it. Why does a Lancer, known as the Dragoon, why do those exist in Final Fantasy? Well, to be honest, if you think about it, Final Fantasy has a name. One of the class has a name, and that is Dragoon. Okay, if you get a Dragoon can use multiple skills with multiple elements when it's coming to lancing. Okay, when you use a spear, a lance, the Dragoon can usually use any element possible with its skills. So if you go to Final Fantasy 14 online, let me just tell you guys right now. Let me let you guys know right now. You guys are stupid because you say this is like a Gyarados. What the hell makes this like a Gyarados? Because Gyarados takes and rip off other art styles to make their Gyarados like the body it is. Think about it. A Chinese dragon. But this also takes inspiration from a different version of a dragoon, which is considered a Chinese dragon. But like, look at it. Look at it. Like, you don't see this with Gyarados completely. You don't look at this completely with Gyarados. Gyarados is more, let's say, more bulkier than this guy here because Gyarados is too bulky. Gyarados is too bulky when it comes to the looks and style of itself, you know? So I don't know what you guys be learning, but you guys are, if you're gonna talk about Gyarados, let me just tell you right now, you're stupid. Um, but like, those are the people that would say stuff against this guy. Okay, this guy right here. People that would talk smack against pals because they take somewhat inspiration from Pokemon. But this one, takes more inspiration from a dragoon. Look it up. And I'll be back. I'll make another stream. I just wanted to let you guys know this looks nothing like a Gyarados. And Gyarados looks nothing like an actual water dragon, like a sea dragon. This looks more like a Chinese sea dragon, but it's more of a dragoon as well as a sea dragon, as a Chinese dragon. Um, like if you watch an animated movie by Disney called Raya and the Last Dragon, think about it. Where does the dragon character take inspiration with this? When she changes to her form, she's more Chinese looking than this guy here. Because Chinese dragons usually have fur or a design that is just like a dragon. This looks more dragon-like than a Gyarados would. Gyarados looks nothing like a dragon. This looks more like a dragon. This is more realistic of a dragon. And that's just something I wanted to let you guys know. And I'll be making another stream later. I just wanted to prove my point. And people are probably going to be pissed off like, yeah, you didn't prove no point. You got no evidence that it's taking inspiration from a dragon. Look it up in the internet. You'll find it. And if you guys say, don't believe everything you see on the internet, dude, you know how many things I've been looking up political-wise about our president, our leader Trump, who is more stupid than the people, the citizens of the state. Okay, he's more stupid than the citizens of the state, man. He's more stupid than Congress and senators altogether. Okay, he like the congressmen and the senators. They're more smart than his ass than Trump. And so what Nintendo tries to do is they're trying to pull a fast one like Trump did through by ripping off another game company studio like an indie game studio like Pocket Pair, and they just really have beef against Pocket Pair. And some people may say, well, is there's no evidence saying that they have beef with Power World. Excuse me, guys. They don't want to leave certain information. They just want to say, oh, we own this, we own that. They say it every dang time. And you guys say this company is trying to fight back. They have to. Because Nintendo are trying to get rid of the game, you know? And the game still exists in Japan as well, by the way. And if Nintendo ain't able to take this game out of Japan, yeah, then they're gonna be in deep, deep trouble. And Nintendo Switch 2s and Nintendo games for the Nintendo Switch 2, you have Nintendo Switch 2 games, they're not doing very well. They're too expensive, they're overpriced. Look, Sony, they make things a lot more affordable than Nintendo, okay? The reason why I say this, that PlayStation 5 is a lot more cheaper than the Switch 2 games, is because every game that is usually new that you'll buy on the Switch 2, and if it's new to the Switch 2 platform, okay, but it's old on the regular Switch, right? The portable Switch Lite, okay, let's say something like that, right? Um, their sales are declining, and here's how I know. And you're probably gonna say, don't believe other YouTubers. Okay, then why don't you pay attention to the lawsuit they're doing? Because I know there's gonna be a lot more people if Nintendo Switch 2 servers go down, and the portable Lite, and the regular Switch in general. If those servers go down, don't blame it on Sony, man. Sony is making the right type of deals because they know that a lot of these pals are somewhat different compared to Pokemon. Meaning they're nothing like a Pokemon. Some of them are somewhat like, but they tweak it up. So, sorry guys, I got skin from my lips and my mouth. Um, so this is something that people have to look up. And even if it's not, even if they can't search it through internet browser and they're showing the wrong information, what Nintendo wants us to see, it's kind of like the president we have. He's taking certain information out of the website and replacing it, just tweaking that information. So when people search, they find something entirely different. Okay, you can tell between Nintendo sells in certain websites because in different websites they have different reviews and different ranks saying that Nintendo is either better than them or worse than them. See, if a website is saying that Nintendo is actually doing very well against Pocket Pair and their sales, then they're stupid. Okay, I'm not trying to say you're stupid, but I gotta admit, you guys somewhat are stupid if you're going into YouTube to spread lies about Nintendo, saying, "Oh, Nintendo's winning. They're more successful than Pocket Bear." Not really. Not like before. Mm-mm. People are just so focused on Nintendo being number one. I wouldn't blame you because you really love the franchise. Okay, that's something I don't care. Okay, I don't want to take that away. Okay, from other players, but if Nintendo puts a bad name on a lawsuit for something they don't really own stuff for, so they're like, oh, we own the rights to this, the mechanics, and that, and that. And that. Okay, look at this guy. Look at this guy right here, the water one that just went by. See, he looks nothing like a Piplup. The only same similar looks is the eyes and nothing else. Everything else is more of its own thing. See, this tail is a foxtail, okay? This looks more like its own thing. So yeah, I'm gonna end this short stream and I'm gonna make a stream on Paulo.